We are Prodigy.
C109 the Sports Hub. I'm Pat Fortuna.
I'm Jared Colbert.
And I'm Joe Catella.
It has been 2 weeks since we have last been on the air, so there is plenty to talk about. Therefore, we should just jump right into it. Our first topic is Jay Cutler and the Dolphins make a $10 million one-year deal after Ryan Tannehill's season-ending knee injury. So, Jared, do you want to start off this one? Good or bad deal?
Bad deal. I don't think you need to pay $10 million plus $3 million in incentives for essentially a one-year replacement. I mean, I know it's going to be the entire year without Ryan Tannehill, but, like, how bad could Matt Moore possibly be?
Odds are they aren't even going to make the playoffs anyways.
Exactly. Like,
well,
any season is a throwaway season.
They
for
would
the
make
Dolphins.
wild card if they can, but
they're
not making it deep
push
in the
for
playoffs.
a wild card,
basically.
but I mean, I get why I guess the connection between Jay Cutler and current Dolphins head coach Adam the Dolphins head coach was the offensive coordinator for the Bears in 2015 when Jay Cutler threw 21 touchdowns to 11 interceptions.
Yep.
One of his better
his best season
statistics
probably.
in that regard. But I mean, so I guess just that connection there was enough for Dolphins management to really try to push for that. He's an upgrade to Matt Moore and to anyone else in the free agency pool that would fit the Dolphins system. But obviously you're losing Ryan Tannehill, so I guess they just made do with what they could.
Here's my take on this. The last good Dolphins quarterback was Dan Marino. Ever since then, it's been a downhill slope. And not even like decent quarterbacks. They've been bad.
Tannehill's decent.
Tannehill is not good.
Tannehill has always been like, he's going to get good this year
Yeah.
for his entire career.
But like last year, he had a decent year.
Everybody's always like, Tannehill is going to light it up this year. And he doesn't.
Tannehill is going to take this Dolphins team to beat the Patriots. It hasn't happened.
Usually they do end up beating us like once in the regular season.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
But like,
They play us tough.
And I mean, it's so much money to pay Jay Cutler, who they had to like beg to come out of retirement. There's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. There's Colin Kaepernick is still fishing
I was just
for a
about
team.
to say that.
Like I know we argued about Colin Kaepernick 2 weeks ago, but really Colin Kaepernick is still looking for a team. He's young. He's a good quarterback. Jay Cutler.
The what?
Well, no. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's nothing special. But he's better than begging Jay Cutler to come out of retirement and paying him $10 million plus $3 million in incentives, you know?
I think picking Jay Cutler, I think it was more schematic fit. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, he's not that much of a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer. Jay Cutler's a pocket passer.
Colin Kaepernick can be.
He can be, but he hasn't, and
Let's not make this about Colin Kaepernick. Okay,
that's
Joe?
what I'm going to when I take.
Yeah, ESPN was making it about Colin Kaepernick, and they're in Herm Edwards was talking about it. It was like it just wasn't a fit. They didn't want to try to.
He wouldn't fit the dynamic. That's
They
true.
wouldn't fit. They didn't want to replace their entire scheme for one quarterback for 1 year, only to have to go back to it when Tannehill comes back.
This is how I see it. Jay Cutler. No, he's not good. He's
not
old.
bad, but he did play with the
Okay.
Bears his entire
You
career.
can say that. He had one good season.
He's
He throws so many interceptions to TDs. He has had decent passer ratings, I can say. And he has a few, or like 3,000-yard seasons. That's where he like averages, which isn't too bad. But he's also really old. And also, if you look at Matt Moore's stats when he stepped in last year for the games that Tannehill was injured, he wasn't terrible. And he only played 4 games, but he had 105 passer rating. He threw 8 TDs to 3 interceptions. He didn't do that good in the playoffs versus the Texans last year. But what?
I mean, it's the Dolphin team in
I'm
general,
saying
like.
I can't. I don't.
Jay Cutler.
You see, the thing is, the stigma in the NFL is the quarterback is the team. Like
He's
when
the
we
leader.
look at
He's
everything.
the quarterback can be half of it.
But like what I'm saying is you look at I don't know, the Patriots. We see Tom Brady as our team.
Mhm.
But then you also see he has a beautiful receiving core. You know, we've got plenty of running backs. And, I mean, he's a big part of our team. He's our leader. But I don't think we can base Matt Moore's poor performance in the playoffs on Matt Moore.
I mean, obviously, for that one playoff game, it's hard. You can't be like, oh, it's definitely him sucking that game.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of if you just looked at, his stats in general, like, obviously, I feel like that's a fair reflection because the quarterback position, it's the most influential on how the team's going to be. And I'm just like Jay Cutler.
He's not a leader.
He's sucked for his entire career, basically.
You need a leader.
He's had a couple good seasons. He had a couple winning seasons. He won one playoff game in his career. So like, he's not making the Dolphins better.
But is he making them worse?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because
Ryan Tannehill
he's the alternative to Tannehill. But Tannehill's out, so you can't even compare him to Tannehill right now.
But Tannehill was never a good quarterback.
He's not Tannehill. But he hasn't been. He's been decent. They've had winning seasons, but he hasn't sucked. Like, you look at Jay Cutler and you go, wow, he's had some bad years.
Interception machine.
He's interception. You can't look at Tannehill and go, wow, he's been god awful.
But could that have been the coaching of the Chicago Bears?
Bears are just a mess because he still had offensive threats though. Like he had Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey.
He's had weapons to use.
Like Tannehill, though he has a pretty good offense now with Devontae Parker and Landry as the wide receivers, and now Jay Ajayi. But their offensive line is a big problem. That's probably their biggest problem on the Dolphins right now. Mm-hmm. But I still think Colin Kaepernick would have been a way better fit.
No.
Yes.
He's not a fit for the Dolphins.
He's a better player.
Better player, sure.
Yes.
Better fit, no.
Because Jay Cutler plays very similarly to Ryan Tannehill in not just the sense that they're both bad, but more in the sense that they play with a very similar dynamic. He's just going to be like Jay Cutler or Ryan Tannehill 2.0. If you bring in Colin Kaepernick, you're slicing and dicing what this team stands for and all they're about and totally rebuilding it from the bottom up.
Colin Kaepernick, even though he can run,
Colin Kaepernick.
Just because he can run, he's not like always. Majority is in the pocket. He can roll out, and with that offensive line, he can get away from the pressure that's going to happen. I don't know. I think and also just shows that teams are not going to pick up Colin Kaepernick. They definitely picked him up.
He's done.
They didn't want to pick him up because of him and his situation with the national anthem, not because he's not a good player. And they just didn't want that going to the team, which is ridiculous.
Well, when you look at the pool of free agents, there's a bunch of just suck in there. And would you rather give a guy a bad football player with the baggage that Colin Kaepernick comes in?
It's not bad.
The money, it's the way that owners see it. It's baggage. It's a media attention because the media freaking loves Colin Kaepernick.
They feed off of him.
They feed off him. It's controversial or whatever. And so, I don't know. For a backup quarterback, that's not necessary.
All right. Well, we can end it on that topic there. So do you think the Dolphins are going to make playoffs?
No.
No, not even wild
They
card.
barely squeeze in with Ryan Tannehill around. Do you think they're going to do it with Jay Cutler?
And they also have a tough schedule this year. So I don't know
They have
if
to play the Patriots twice.
But I don't think they're going to make playoffs now. I didn't think they're going to unless they boosted their offensive line some way. So I don't think so. So anyway, on our next topic, Rob Ninkovich and Vince Wilfork both retired, former Patriots players. So
Rob Ninkovich was.
Well, he was on the Patriots.
He retired a Patriot.
And Vince just retired today.
They're great players that were huge assets to the league, and they'll definitely be missed.
Yeah, I think. Well, now here's a question: do you see either of them, Patriots Hall of Fame members, or even would you even consider Hall of Famer in general?
I see Vince Wilfork becoming a Hall of Famer in general, Patriots Hall of Famer. I see Rob Ninkovich absolutely becoming a Patriots Hall of Famer. Not
he's-
so sure about Hall of Fame in
Yeah,
general.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Rob Ninkovich.
He's never really the star.
Because
but
before he came to the Patriots, he wasn't really that good, and then he spent 7 years here, a couple Super Bowls, and huge.
What, 3, 4 with
No.
us?
What?
Super
Two.
Bowls.
Two.
he's been to 3, but only
1, 2. Yeah, because he was here in
with them
2012.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's
So
a great
yeah,
player.
I agree. I can see both of them Patriots Hall of Famer.
yeah.
And for team Hall of Fames, they really give that to anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone who's been on the
Anyone-
team for a while and people liked.
Right.
Exactly. Like, they aren't going to give it to, like, Matt Castle, but they'll give it to, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past them to give it to Matt Castle, honestly.
Okay.
They have some. Felger and Mavs were talking about it once. All 4 New England teams have some pretty weird names that they either their number retired or in their Hall of Fame.
Okay. Let's move on to a bigger topic. One of the biggest topics in Patriots news as of late. Tom Brady's concussion last season that his wife Giselle reported. Now, recently Tom Brady has come under fire from the league and from many sports shows talking about his concussion from last season. A lot of people believe he should have reported it to the NFL and sat out
If he had one.
if he actually did have
If
one.
he had one.
According to his wife Giselle, he does, but based on some of the comments he's made his case a little bit worse in the sense that he's not making any friends, such as when he said, when he was asked about his concussion, he said, "I don't think that's anybody's business."
Yeah.
Jared?
This isn't news. I mean, it happened. Giselle reported it a bunch of months ago, and then came under fire a bunch of months ago.
Well, 1 month.
1 month. Was it really just
Yeah, it was
1
only a
month
month
ago? Well, still, even in that month, obviously, if nothing's happened, then nothing's happening. I mean, is the league even investigating it anymore? Should they investigate it? I mean, if he had a concussion last year, it's gone.
Yeah.
He's fine. If he didn't, then what's the
But does
big
that-
hoopla?
Just to play devil's advocate here, I'm in the same boat as you, but just to play devil's advocate, now does that like, I don't know, does that hurt the integrity of the league and its players' honor system? Or what does that say for Brady? Like, should Patriots fans be concerned that he won't report an injury and
no, I
risk
think-
injuring himself more?
I don't think the Patriots fan could be concerned. Brady's gotten hit so many times over the years that if something was to happen, it would have happened already. But as for integrity of league, it's only news because it's Tom Brady. I'm sure. I'm not even sure like how to word it, but like, it's one case where someone maybe sort of had a concussion at one point.
But if you think about it this way, how he worded it, it's not. And when they asked him about the concussion, did he have one? He says, "Not really your business." So he's not confirming or denying it. Because if he's confirming it, then that means that like NFL's gonna have to investigate like why, and he's probably gonna get suspended another 4 games if he lied about. Because you get in trouble for lying about getting injured. But if he says he didn't, then he's making his wife look like a liar, and he didn't. If he was playing, obviously, great if he did even have the concussions, which I don't know if he did. Maybe he should tell the league that he does get them. It's not really the public's business.
And
It's
that's-
more the league's because there's been so many controversy, so much I can't say the word.
But no, like what I was saying though is you're right. I mean, what I was saying is not should the Patriots fans be concerned for his well-being because we know he's fine. He won a Super Bowl. But should they be concerned for the fact that this could have major repercussions if it turns out that he did have a concussion?
I still don't think they should be concerned because if the NFL gets pissy that someone didn't report a concussion and then they ended up fine, screw them. That's be such a micromanagement move to be picking
Well,
on.
we're the Patriots. That's the thing, though, is it is micromanaging, absolutely, but we're the Patriots. You know, we knew we'd be micromanaged every second since freaking Spygate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here we are, and we're just struggling these. Like, that's why we have to be super careful about our every move, and this wasn't a careful move by Giselle.
No, that was
Bit of a
stupid of
slip.
her saying that out loud. But also, just Brady, he's doing good. Great QB.
Speaking of Tom Brady, into our next topic. How long does Tom Brady have, and what should we do with Jimmy Garoppolo?
So Jimmy
1,000
Garoppolo's
years.
season.
1,000 more years of Tom Brady.
So Garoppolo's contract ends this year. So
That's his contract ending. They'll re-sign him. If Tom Brady goes, hey, I want 20 more years, they'll be like, oh, okay.
Garoppolo, when you sign Brady, you don't know how long he has left. Like people say, he's gonna fall off a cliff. I don't know if he's gonna fall off a cliff anytime soon. Treats his body very well, but Jimmy Garoppolo wants to start somewhere, and he's not getting any reps playing time here. And he did pretty well before he got injured last season when Brady's Deflategate suspension. Garoppolo's going to want a lot of money going somewhere. I think the Patriots might franchise tag him next year, and he would be fine with it because he's getting like 20, 34 million or something. But he's going to want a starting position soon, and the Patriots are going to lose Jimmy if they keep Brady. And Brady has at least like 2 or 3 more years of greatness.
I'm prepared for 3 more years of Brady.
Well, hold on a second. I'm going to compare this to, like, I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers and...
No.
You can't compare Tom Brady's career to any other career.
No, I don't know what I'm going to compare it to. I'm not even going to make the comparison. It's stupid.
Okay.
But Brady is an unbelievable quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, best of all
He
time.
should absolutely retire a Patriot.
He will.
But what I'm saying is, let's compare this to Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
He went out on top. If Brady wins next year, in the unfathomable idea of a 19-0 season, does he retire?
No.
He wants to keep going. He wants to build.
I know he wants to keep going, but would it be smart to keep going, or would it, or should he turn into a Michael Jordan who leaves the NBA, comes back, and he's terrible?
You heard him a couple years ago when he said, "I'm gonna keep playing till I suck."
Yeah.
He's gonna go out. No, he's not gonna stop himself from winning. He's not gonna stop himself from to continue to play.
But when is enough enough?
Tom Brady loves competition, and he loves playing football in general, and I hope he loves playing with the Patriots. He's gonna keep doing this until someone else says, "No, you suck. You're old. Get off my field."
Say his bunk knee blows out this season. God forbid. But say that happens.
Where's Wood?
Retire? Does he retire?
Well, if he's not good the next season.
If it's season ending, I'd say he definitely consider it. But he wins. No way is he
And
gonna
the Patriots
stop.
have such a good team with still young talent also.
Yeah, but then I think a lot of people undermine Jimmy Garoppolo in the sense of he's a very talented player.
He is a very talented player, and
He's starter worthy.
Yeah.
starter worthy. Yes. For just general NFL quarterbacks, he's starter worthy.
He could be a better quarterback than Jay Cutler for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Browns, he could be a
But
starter.
Belichick loves Garoppolo, and I think
He's like a
Belichick.
mini Brady.
I think Belichick believes that Garoppolo is the next starting quarterback for the Patriots,
Or he would have traded him.
or he would have traded him by now. He could have gotten a #1 overall pick. He could have had a brand spanking new defensive end in Myles Garrett this year.
Okay, not mild. They would not give. But anyway, yeah.
They
keep
could have
going.
gotten anyone.
That's the point.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
But he wanted to hold on to him because he believes Jimmy Garoppolo is the next best thing. And when Bill Belichick sets his mind to something, God damn it, he'll have it his way.
Oh, he's shared language, bud. We're live on air.
That's not one of the 7 words I can say. Buffy, yell at me if I said something wrong. But but what I'm saying is, Belichick and Brady will be talking as to when Brady's not going to be like, "Oh, I'm retiring this year." He's going to let Belichick know that, hey, maybe I'm planning on retiring, maybe I'm staying this year. And so Belichick, if Brady says, "Hey, man, I'm playing 4 more years, you can't stop me," then maybe Belichick starts thinking okay, maybe Garoppolo, we're wasting his talent back here. But I think Belichick knows that Brady's time, that the end of Brady coincides with the prime of Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's working it so that's the seamless transition between quarterbacks. And so he's going to hold on to Garoppolo for the next 2 to 3 years.
But how are they
until
going to
he's
sign
ready.
him? They can only franchise tag him for so much till he wants to start.
Right, but I think
Do you think Garoppolo's going to sign
Garoppolo,
Do you
but
think-
Garoppolo's going to think he's only going to sit there and wait his turn for so long.
And when he hits
Eventually,
free
no,
agency-
and rightfully so, eventually he'll be like, give me, start me. Because he's too good to let him sit there and have his time be wasted by sitting on the bench. Now, I know he's training with the greatest quarterback of all time. I know he's playing with one of the greatest teams of all time. But, enough is enough. And I think that soon he'll start to realize that he's kind of been brainwashed by the fact that he's playing for the Patriots. And, I mean, I know that sounds bad, but he really is brainwashed by the fact that he's playing for the greatest franchise in the NFL right now. And I think that that's the only reason he sticks around. So I think that they either need to move him or he's going to get really upset really fast.
Yeah, and also if he does hit the market at all, he's going to see the offers coming in from teams that are desperate for quarterbacks. Look at Brock Osweiler. You see his contract he got. Look what Garoppolo is going to be getting just for being Brady's backup.
Exactly. So, but you say, oh, it's the only reason because he's on the Patriots. I think his situation here, it's not like he is sitting on the Texans as a backup quarterback.
But he can only sit there as a vulture for so long waiting for Brady to keel over,
How old
But
is he?
He's
He's 25, I think.
what Garoppolo is going to inherit here is unlike anything else he'd inherit on any other team. Even if it's 2 to 3 years earlier than what he's going to get here. Because the Patriots and Belichick and their system and how they're good every year, it's unmatched by any other team in the league.
But also, no, finish whatever you're going to say.
And so I'm obviously, you're right. He might, he could be thinking right now, hey, I could start. I'm 25 years old. I'm wasting my career when I could be getting way more money somewhere else and starting somewhere else. But I at least hope that part of him is thinking, well, hold on. If I go somewhere else next year, then I'm missing out in 2 to 3 years on just staying here and getting this team, which is already so good, and I'd already be in a position to win. Basically, does he want to jump a ship that's unsinkable?
So
The Patriots aren't a sinking ship. They're going to be good after Tom Brady.
think about it. Tom Brady was how old when he started on the Patriots? When he played his first game after Drew Bledsoe got injured? 22?
I don't know.
It happened.
Yeah,
in,
it was after his rookie season. It was a year
It
after.
happened in 2001.
So he was 22.
Happened in 2001.
Well, he's 40 now. So
Yeah,
40.
40 minus 18.
So yeah, he was young.
He was 22. Okay? That was his first season.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy Garoppolo, in a sense, has already lost 3 years in relation to what Brady did.
Mm-hmm.
And the Patriots, not even just to think about the quarterback situation,
He's 24.
in general, the New England Patriots are getting older. Julian Edelman's 31.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick's getting older. He's
Belichick is
super. Isn't he the
there's
oldest?
always the talk about how Belichick will go out and Brady goes out.
Yeah.
I
doubt it.
don't think that'll happen. But Belichick, the entire team is getting like Gronk is 28. His health is so questionable 24/7. We're losing Rex Burkhead, who we signed in the offseason, who's probably going to be our starting running back, is getting much older. He's in his early 30s. We have a veteran team for the most part.
We have a veteran core.
Danny Amendola, there's talks of him retiring after next season.
Because he's had a history of injuries that would end his career earlier than most.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, the Patriots aren't going to be the Patriots as we know them forever, just losing Tom Brady. When Tom Brady goes, other changes will be made, and I think Garoppolo wants this team. I don't think he wants, the scrappy Patriots that we're going to be in a few years.
Well, you look at other renditions of the Patriots, and they have been seamless transitions from winning team to winning team to winning team.
For 15
Remember
years.
when Wes Welker was our Julian Edelman in a sense, and then he leaves, and we have this new guy up, and we have a young guy, Julian Edelman, up and ready to go as his replacement. Belichick is always thinking about 5 years down the road. Who will I have? What holes do I need to plug by then? And so yes, Edelman is getting older, Amendola is getting older, Gronk is getting, how long will he be healthy? But by the time that Garoppolo gets to the gets to the helm, yes, those guys will be old, but by then Belichick will have brought in young guys to be ready to step in and replace him and be good going forward. Malcolm Mitchell is he's starting to hit his stride. But you look at, Tom Brady hasn't been throwing the ball to Edelman and Gronk forever. He was playing with Drew Bledsoe's team early on in his career, and then it started becoming his team, and Randy Moss was one of his wide receivers, and then that changed and then keeps changing.
Wait, hold on. Can I just say something that I think is really funny? He has Brady's stats pulled up on his screen. In his very first season, he was 1 for 3 with 6 yards, 0 touchdowns.
That was his rookie year, yeah. But yeah, also Brady's first year at the helm of the Patriots, he was 24. So technically, if you're looking at it, Garoppolo missed out on one season as a Patriot starter.
But then if you say Brady has 3 more years in him,
well, then sure, by then he's missed out 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
But you missed out. It's hard to just say he missed out on so many years because how do we even know? I don't know.
Here's a scenario for you.
All right, hit it.
Brady, first season, won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Like, first starting season,
Yes.
won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Can Garoppolo do that?
Well, it depends the team.
Could.
Say
guess.
he had this team, and say next season, Brady pulls a Bledsoe, gets hurt.
Don't even talk about this.
Garoppolo has to step in. Do you think he could lead the team to a Super Bowl victory?
He could.
You think so?
The team
I
itself
think
is
so.
good enough.
The coaches are great.
The team and coaching itself is good enough that
The defense.
Jimmy Garoppolo also isn't no schmuck.
True.
He's a really good quarterback. And so I think Garoppolo is good enough to also take this team. Obviously, he wouldn't do it in such a swift and just amazing fashion that Brady could do it in. But I think he could be enough where you could, scrap a Super Bowl team out of this team plus Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right. Well,
All right.
before we run out of time, you want to finish last statement on this?
Oh, no, I was going to move on to the next topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Here is my favorite topic of the day. I love it so much. Kyrie Irving does not want to play with LeBron James anymore on the Cleveland Cavaliers. What should the Cavaliers do, and what does that mean for Joe wrote the Patriots, but he meant the Celtics. What does this mean for the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference?
All right. I can
go.
take this
All
first.
right.
So
I wanted to. Fine.
you asked the question.
Stop.
I know.
You
All
could
right.
have just kept talking.
So here, I'll let you start, Pat, because you're very anxious right now.
I am so happy about this. Oh, my God. It's so exciting because Kyrie Irving, the Cavs are built up of Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. I couldn't think of his name. And Kevin Love.
Thompson, Yeah.
But, really, it's Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. You take Kyrie out of that equation, and what? They have LeBron and Kevin Love, but then their chemistry has to be completely rebuilt. And, I mean, it shatters their whole team dynamic. Kyrie Irving and LeBron James were everything. Mm-hmm. And now LeBron's composure is probably going to be shaken no matter who their new teammate is, because he believes that he's not a good team, or he's going to feel like he's not a good team player because he made one of his good friends leave. And, I mean, he probably feels pretty betrayed, so he's probably going to have a tough time readjusting. I don't know how hard of a time, but he's going to have a tough time.
I think it'll be easy for him to move on.
But so close to, when big things start happening in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
So you think that they are going to trade Kyrie, or you want them to?
I think they are going to trade Kyrie.
I kind of
Well, we
hope
all
they
hope
do.
as Celtics fans that they do, because then the Celtics will be the dominant team in the East for sure now.
But imagine, trade Kyrie Irving, the Celtics cruise. They will cruise to at least the Eastern Conference Finals and put up a very good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that team just becomes LeBron and Kevin Love. But, LeBron...
still a tough team.
Well, you
'cause of
can't
LeBron.
forget Derrick Rose.
And Derrick Rose.
They-
Well,
did
Derrick
just-
Rose is going to tear his ACL in, the first quarter.
If he
of
stays
the first
healthy-
He
game.
stayed healthy throughout his whole season.
But what did he
64
do?
games.
What did he do, though?
He averaged 18 points, which isn't terrible. He had a terrible three-point percentage with 21.
And 4.4 assists.
Yeah,
which,
but
Kyrie Irving had...
he's also on the
what am I
Knicks.
looking at? Kyrie Irving had 5.8, with the Cavs this season, so I'm sure he'd fit right in.
But Derrick Rose, he's definitely not going to
Definitely a
replace.
downgrade,
But he's still going to be a suitable replacement.
No, I love the Kyrie story for a plethora of reasons. It's gonna make the Cavs worse.
Yeah.
I love that Kyrie Irving in this year of competitiveness
Ooh, we got a caller.
is tearing apart the super team. I'll get back to my point later. Right now we got a call from Tom Brown. Oh God, my screen went terrible.
All right, we'll wait for that caller back.
We may lose Tom Brown.
My phone might have just broke on me.
All right.
But
You have to hold that one, too.
I can do it myself, Joe.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, so anyway, technical
Tom, just
difficulties again.
tweet at us.
Yeah, so
This is
Kyrie,
really
I feel
broken.
like they're not trading Kyrie. They got so many great offers.
Oh, can I
already.
finish my point though?
Oh yeah, I thought you were fixing it.
in
Okay.
in a season where super teams are the thing and everyone wants to work with each other, Kyrie Irving is the one person who says, I am feeling restrained by this one player on my team. I want my own team. It's exactly what the NBA needs again. This need for competitiveness.
Well,
this need for
and-
Kyrie Irving to take his own team. Obviously, it fits his style where he just wants the ball and to score everything.
And what you're saying is basically Kyrie is one of the best players in the NBA.
Yes.
I'd give him top 5.
Top 5?
Oh.
What are you
Top
talking?
10. I'll give him top 10. Not
Okay,
even top 5.
Top 10
Top
is
5.
a stretch.
Top 5
I'd say he's
point
one of
guard,
the
if
top 10
that's what you're trying to
players
say.
in the NBA. No, he is a amazing player. And he
One-on-one,
There you go.
fine.
Yeah.
Joe. One-on-one, he's a great player. Terrible team player.
terrible team player. No,
God
he's
awful.
His
but like
defense
as
is
a
terrible.
solo player,
As a
he
player,
is
yes,
unbelievable.
He's really good.
And he's being overshadowed by LeBron James on his team. He wants to be the star of a team like he was when LeBron left the Cavs.
Because that was working.
But I know it wasn't working, but he wants to be the star of
Oh,
a team.
yeah.
You know, he wants to run the team. He wants to be the leader. He doesn't want to be the one he wants to be the one who people look to for advice and, like guidance as a player. He doesn't want to be the one to look to others.
And also, like, he doesn't even know if LeBron is staying in Cleveland next year. So why is he doesn't feel like LeBron's committed to the team, really. And first, I don't even think they're going to trade him. I don't know. Maybe if Kyrie does, like, some, like...
They're
what's it
going to
called?
trade
Like
him.
some
If he does...
Paul
Because
George.
they've got so many offers.
But if he requests a trade like that,
When Kyrie Irving requests a trade, I mean,
Unless he,
obviously the return that the Cavs are going to get is going to be enough where the Cavs are like, okay, we didn't lose anything because we had a player that didn't want to be here. And so rather than, I mean, he has a bunch of years left on his contract.
Yeah, he's like
So
3, I think, or
If they
2.
don't trade him this year, like, no need to hit the panic button. I'm sure LeBron is like, whoa, don't trade him. I still want him on my team
Because he still wants to win.
because he still wants to win. So they might not even trade him this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't trade him. They'd rather trade him because it'd give the Celtics a better shot.
Do you think that the Cavs, if they trade Kyrie Irving, they're going to go into a rebuild?
No, they still have LeBron James.
Because
Why would they
LeBron,
need
he
to-
has a 1-year deal.
but LeBron's going to re-sign with the Cavs.
You don't know that.
I still think
There could be potential teams like
If
the
you-
Spurs or
if-
some good fits
okay.
for him.
pump the brakes on that thought. If you have LeBron James, you're making the playoffs. Period. So you're a winning team. with
LeBron
LeBron
James could go 5-on-1 and make the playoffs.
Exactly. You're a winning team with
That's a
LeBron
bit
James.
much.
So why not? If you do have him for this 1 year, why not go all in and try to win with LeBron?
'Cause
So you can
Kyrie
be like,
wants to
hey,
leave.
LeBron, we're still winning here. So like, don't leave.
Because
I
what
just-
teams are going to give up for Kyrie? They're not going to give up their star players. Teams that want Kyrie are rebuilding teams right now, like to the Timberwolves or
If
the
you-
Heat.
No, if you want Kyrie, you're trying to win.
Yeah.
You're not rebuilding with
well, he's
Kyrie.
a young point guard.
Yes, he's relatively young. How old is he? 25. But still, you're not. If you're rebuilding, you want cap space and young players on rookie contracts.
Tom Brown, by the way, we're ready for your call now. If you
Oh
still
yes,
wanna
Tom
make
Brady,
it.
Tom Brown, Tom Brady. If you want to call too, that'd be great. But you're not rebuilding with Kyrie. I mean, he's already been in the league for 6 years. He's getting a buttload of money. You're just handicapping your rebuilding situation.
There we go.
Tom
Here's
Brown,
the
here's the call right as I started running
Friend of
out
the
of
show.
thoughts. Friend of the show, Tom Brown. Hold on, let me turn you up there. Tom Brown, you are on the air.
Hey guys, how you doing? Missed you while you guys weren't on the air.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I was wondering, do you think Kyrie would rather go to a Western Conference team or stay in the East? Because the Western Conference is loaded with great players and great teams, and why would he want to do that?
Right.
All right, guys, thanks.
Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
thank you, Tom Brown, for the call.
Now Kyrie actually gave a list of his preferred landing spots.
I forget who was on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check right
It's
now.
It's an
Knicks?
interesting list. It's
The
the
Spurs.
Knicks, Spurs,
Was it the Heat?
Heat.
could have.
Let me check.
The
let me tell you.
Timberwolves.
Hold on.
Timberwolves,
those are
which-
the ones I remember.
Well, I would-
Knicks, Heat, Timberwolves, Spurs, Suns, Clippers.
I feel like the Suns makes a lot of sense.
And that's a majority Western Conference.
Because the Suns, I mean, if you're the Suns, do you even want to trade Devin Booker in exchange for Kyrie Irving?
Well, weren't they talking about trading Josh Jackson too?
Yeah, that's
Josh Jackson,
LeBron
right,
asked
you'd be
for
given-
that.
The Suns have a lot going for them with Booker and Jackson. Obviously, you have no idea how it turns out.
LeBron has this team wrapped around his pinky.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do whatever they can to keep the best player in the league.
But
on
I'm
the
looking
team.
at the situation where if you're another team, like, how badly do you want Kyrie Irving? Like, yes, he's a good player, but if you're trying to win, just Kyrie as, like, your main guy is not a good formula on how to win.
Oh, I think it is.
He
Clearly
can't be-
not.
Do you think he could be the best player on a championship team?
Yes.
He was the best. He was the best player on the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first 3 seasons of
Okay,
his
I thought you were
career.
going to say when they won a championship.
But not
I'm
when
like,
they won.
what? Yeah, because then they didn't do anything.
And yes, he had, 18 points, 22 points, 20 points, all, 19, 20, 21 years of age.
It depends. No,
But
no,
the Cavaliers were such a sucky team. There's a reason-
Kyrie needs a team that has great players like the Timberwolves.
That's
Jimmy
what I was saying.
Butler,
That'd be
right?
such
He
a
needs
great
to go to
team.
a Jimmy Butler type team where he has great players but not LeBron.
where you have other players that are two-way players because Kyrie can't play a lick of defense.
He needs great players.
So if he
No.
did-
He needs great players but not players that are better than him.
Exactly. And that's such a slim picking.
So kind of like the
of teams. So if-
Celtics in like 2007.
What?
What do you
I mean, not 7. When the okay, just keep going. I completely
Shut
blanked
up,
my.
So, like, for the Timberwolves, yeah, where it's Jimmy Butler is a good two-way guard, which would help, with Kyrie being the only offensive guard. And then Towns is a great defensive player,
2008.
and Wiggins also a great defensive player. So, like, the Timberwolves make sense. But do the Timberwolves have enough assets to then trade for Kyrie and then also bring on his $20 million plus contract? Like, the teams that it makes sense for him to go to aren't going to be the same teams, aren't going to have the same players that work alongside Kyrie if the trade happens. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Butler, Towns, and Wiggins all aren't going to be there if they have to trade for Irving. You go to the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard, Paul Gasol, LaMarcus Aldridge, Rudy Gay, they're not all going to be there.
They'd have to give up a big asset.
They'd have to give
They-
up
yeah, they
a
don't have
big
that
contract
much.
to make the trade work, but then also some they were mentioning Josh Jackson, a player like of that caliber that you then have to trade to get the Cavs to be like, okay, this makes sense for us.
It was also reported that the Celtics traded or offered to trade for Kyrie Irving.
They didn't offer; they called up and went, "Hey, keep us up to date on what happens."
No,
and then
didn't
hung
they
up the
offer
phone.
two? What I saw.
Everyone, all the analysts are like, "Oh, it would be a good trade if it was like Isaiah Thomas and the bunch of picks or whatever."
No, they offered. I'm not 100% sure they offered this.
Which
But they
why
offered
would the
the
Celtics do that? But it's
two
just
picks and the the Brooklyn pick, the LA pick, another first round pick,
Mhm.
and then Jay Crowder, and then some other guy.
It
I
had to
can't
be
remember.
Isaiah Thomas.
It wasn't Isaiah
No,
Thomas.
Isaiah was in like most of these trade scenarios.
Which would be
That would
But
be a terrible trade.
It's obviously Danny Ainge hasn't been like, "Oh yeah, please take Isaiah Thomas from us for $6 million or whatever."
The Celtics just brought themselves out of their rebuild.
Exactly, they're winning now. They don't need to. It
Make
worked.
big moves like this.
The roster they have worked, did it not? They got 50 wins. They got the first seed. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Why would you then say, yeah, we need to mix it up? Because that'd be stupid. It's literally just analysts going, oh, this trade I guess would make sense if you really wanted to try to balance things. So no, Danny Ainge is not calling up asking the Cavaliers to take their 3 best picks and their 2 of their top 4 players.
Okay.
So you want to move on? What's our next
This will be
topic?
probably a quick blanket cover because we already talked a little bit about it in the previous topic. But Derrick Rose
D-Rose.
went to the Cleveland Cavaliers
Yeah.
in his free agency. Smart move by D Rose,
He only got
Whoa,
paid
he got
$2
the
million.
veteran minimum
Yeah.
but smart move by D Rose to go to a winning
to
team.
try to win.
He's a winning. He's a player who cares about winning, not money.
And well,
Right.
no, no one was giving him any offers. That's why he took the $2 million, which was lucky he was on.
I'm
a
sure
winning
he could
team.
have gotten a little bit more.
He was
from
getting no
other places.
offers. No. That's
Okay,
why.
so I guess
That's why he
the
went with-
offers weren't really.
That's why he took the minimum. But he's for a 20-point or 18-point average player last season. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a great. If they keep Kyrie Irving, great bench player coming off. He could. I don't know about 6th Man of the Year award, but he was a great. Obviously, the Knicks, they struggled. The team he was on last year, their management was just all over the place. But D Rose is a great player. He has went down.
good. He's a good.
Back
player.
it up.
Okay, he was a great player
Pump
in
the
his
brakes.
MVP season. When was that?
Which was 2010,
Which was
2010.
2010, like the third year of his career.
before he tore his ACL 6 times.
Yeah, so if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a great
Which
asset
he's
for them.
the odds of him staying healthy are slim.
Yeah, but he's not going to bring the Cavs anywhere over the Warriors, especially if they're off-season pickups. It's just they're unfair. They're cheat code.
Okay, does that cover that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Okay, well one
And-
quick thing, one quick little fact about that
Okay.
is every MVP winner for the past 10 years is now either on the Cavaliers or the Warriors.
10
Which,
years?
like, yeah, it's back, but in
2007.
reality, that's 4 players.
Yeah,
Because
LeBron.
it's LeBron, Steph, Durant, Derrick Rose. Period.
Yeah.
So it's the 4 players, in which, yes, it's crazy, but also Derrick Rose is a stretch. You're like, oh, the top, 4 MVPs. Yes, one was Derrick Rose, who is no longer the type of player he was when he won that MVP.
Absolutely not, but
Okay. So our last topics are the MLB trade deadline and
Or are we talking
or
about
no,
the
we have
Red
to talk
Sox
about the Red
first?
Sox first.
oh yeah, we can go into the Red Sox. I forgot about that.
So the Red Sox represent. The last time we did the show, I think they were just coming off a big win streak heading into the All-Star break.
Yep.
Since then, so at that point, we were feeling pretty good about the Red Sox. They may never lose a game again or whatever.
Yeah, we were saying that.
And then
They
lost
lost games.
well, they tied the Yankee series, tied the Blue Jays series. So, they were okay. And then they lost the Angels series, lost the Mariners series, lost the Royals series. They went 3-6 during that span. So, that wasn't looking good. Then the trade deadline happened. I don't think Eduardo Nunez has been playing great for us. Surprise pick there. We'll get to that in a bit. But since then, they're on a 6-game win streak.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6-game win streak. They're playing some good baseball, and they're getting some good pitching out of some guys you don't expect.
Yeah.
I know at the beginning of the year, Drew Pomeranz was not looking like a guy who would have an 11-3 record at this point, but that's exactly what he's done. And so, I don't know. I'm just feeling pretty good about the Red Sox right now. Obviously, of course, they're in a win streak, so we'll see how long this one lasts.
And the Red Sox, when their pitching isn't doing well, their offense is surprisingly backing them up now.
Yeah, Chris Sale had a terrible outing against the
Yeah.
Indians a while back.
And then they made a comeback in the bottom of the ninth
Stormed back.
3-1 walk-off 3-run homer to win the game. That was insane.
Awesome.
But yeah, they've been playing great baseball.
We got one.
Okay, Buffy.
We got a call.
From our
Buffy's on the
producer
phone.
who
I
could
probably should've-
literally just come in the room and ask the question.
But whatever, we'll take the call. Buffy, you're on the air. How's it going?
Hi, Hi, guys. It's Buffy here, your producer.
Yeah.
Hello.
My question is, so on the lines of the Red Sox, what do you think the Red Sox should do with they're spending so much money on players that aren't producing what they need, like Panda and David Price. What do you think they should do with players like that, who are on their payroll that just aren't
That aren't.
putting?
So you're
that
paying people so much, but
that-
aren't coming out with results.
Okay, I'm gonna get
Okay.
off the line.
Okay. Well, I was gonna hang up.
All right. Well.
Okay. So Buffy's question essentially boiled down to what should the Red Sox do with the players
That are not providing
with their
results.
big contracts that aren't providing results.
They can't do
David
anything
Price.
right now.
Obviously, they just cut Sandoval, so that's what they did. They cut Sandoval, but they still have David Price. Still have Hanley Ramirez, who's
not hitting the way he
who's
was
not
last year.
hitting the way he was last year. Who's kind of in a ish of a slump, and whose attitude is kind of all over the place. I think those are their two biggest contracts.
Yeah.
So what do Red Sox do with them?
Oh, they can't do anything right now because it's like if she's talking about like the next season or something.
I mean, obviously, like, you can't really trade those guys either. Like, no one's going to look at David Price's contract and go, yeah, I'll take it. David Price is being paid $30
So
million
not playing well.
plus for the next 6 years. We got him locked down forever. Hanley Ramirez, we're paying $22.75 million over the next 2 years. So Hanley's contract isn't as locked in. Like, we're not really that much committed. And then the other bigger contracts are Pedroia and Porcello and Rusney Castillo. It's our fourth, sixth highest contract right now.
Who?
Rusney Castillo, the Cuban that we thought was going to do really good, but he spent years in AAA and hasn't produced in the major league level.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, I think we're kind of just riding his contract out. That was a mess of a contract, but it's only $11 million. But as for the other guys,
Only.
for a player that doesn't.
but
even
as for
play.
the other guys, basically it's David Price, Hanley Ramirez. You can't do without it. I mean, the Red Sox ownership, they're loaded, and so
But they don't go over the luxury tax, which is annoying.
right. Well, the luxury tax is like $180 million.
Yeah, and they're making moves. They made moves before the trade deadline, so they wouldn't go over as well as pick up players. But teams like the Yankees that are already going over, we kind of already talked about this, like in the NBA, that you need to go over the trade deadline. I mean,
Or the
not
luxury
trade.
tax.
Yeah, to actually become a winning or a championship team.
In the MLB, it's different because, because A, it's so high, and there's only like 5 teams that actually have the money backing to actually reach it, and so like teams who don't reach the luxury tax win all the time. But I mean, if you go back to the summer or the winter when we signed David Price, with the information we had at the time, I'd do it again. We needed a pitcher that year. The only way we were going to get that if we paid the top guy top dollar. And obviously he hasn't produced to what we wanted out of a $30 million guy. But he's produced enough that we can keep him on the roster. He doesn't have a negative 2.5 wins above replacement like Sandoval did. He's not hurting the team. He might be with his attitude.
And his losing record.
Does Price have a losing
I'm
record
pretty
this
sure
year?
he does. Or
Hold
even if he doesn't, it's not good.
I mean, I'm sure it's not
It's
good
close
for a
to
guy who's
500. I forget exactly.
Oh my God! I'm sure it's not good for a guy who's getting paid $30 million, but he's with Chris Sale. He no longer needs to be
Yeah,
the ace.
Chris Sale's carrying him.
So 5-3.
So he's not losing, but that's terrible.
Like it's not
for
no.
what he's getting paid.
For what he's getting paid, obviously it's terrible. But you're not kicking him off the roster for it.
Oh no. Hopefully
So-
he can step up.
You keep having him pitch like this. I mean, his ERA is better than last year.
What's his ERA right
It's
now?
3.82. It was 3.99 last year. So I mean, not too much better. Obviously, it's not the 2.45 it was 2 years ago. But I mean, it's fine. It's a fine little streak he's putting together. Obviously, he's a little injured right now. And Hanley
A
Ramirez,
little injured.
his elbow's like coming back. He's flaring up again. But salute.
That was an aggressive
But
sneeze,
you
I'm
can't
sorry.
you can't do much. You just can't do much with. You can't really do anything. You're locked in with them. It's like
Yeah.
suck it up, ownership. Sorry, that's what it is.
All right. So do you want to go on the last topics of the MLB trade deadline now?
Sure. Well, just a couple quick
All
bullets.
right, just go over
the,
them
the
really
real, the
quickly.
probably the biggest names came out of the MLB trade deadline. It was a little slow, but Dodgers got Yu Darvish. They're just stacking up. The Dodgers,
They're gonna kill everyone.
they're running away with everything. I mean, 79 wins, 79-32. They're 47-13 at home. They're and they're not slowing down. Obviously, getting Yu Darvish just helps the back of the rotation behind Kershaw there. It's really insane how good the Dodgers are doing, and they're only getting better. The Yankees got Sonny Gray. I'm not looking in too much in that. I mean, starting pitching, yeah, it helps. It helps down the stretch. It helps win, more games here and there. But it's 1 out of every 5 days. That can only make the Yankees so much better. And hopefully the Red Sox don't blow this 3-game lead that they have on them. And then, I don't know, I threw it in there. Royals got Melky Cabrera. The Royals right now are sitting 2.5 games behind the Indians. But I don't see them catching them.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in the season, as it in with
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
in with most professional leagues after the All-Star break, I mean, most playoff races are over by then, for the most part, right? First half of the
Oh.
season, you already know. Like, the Rockies aren't catching.
It's more fighting for like the last place.
It's fighting
spots.
for the who's gonna get the
The-
final spots.
Yeah.
But Nationals have a 13-game lead. I mean, Cubs only have a half-game lead up on the Brewers, so that might be one that flip-flops. But it's the Cubs and the Brewers. No one's arguing that the Cardinals, Pirates, and Reds are going to make a playoff run. And then Dodgers, obviously, 15.5-game lead. I mean, Red Sox, Yankees, again, maybe that might switch. Indian Royals, maybe that might switch. But you already know who's in the playoffs, and you already know who's out of the playoffs. And so, again, it's fighting for who gets seeded where.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it might be interesting down the stretch. Obviously, with so many games, you can blow some leads. But I mean, the MLB, I wouldn't be surprised if the standings I see today are the standings I see at the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Should we wrap it up?
I think so. Unless
Okay.
You guys,
Wow, we almost hit an hour on the dot.
nice.
Okay, well, this has been C109 the Sports Hub, back in kicking after being gone for 2 weeks.
We got a pulse.
We'll be back next week, I hope.
Yeah. I
not-
hope.
Let's not promise anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could very well be back next week.
Or next year. We
or-
don't know.
Or prepared not to be.
Follow us on Twitter at C109 Sports.
Yep.
I'm Pat Fortuna.
I'm Jared Colbert.
I'm Joe Catella.
We are signing off.
Sound like a pilot.